They'll feel it before they understand it. Because when God marks you, the first place it shows is in your eyes. Not everyone will notice, but those who do, their spirit will remember. There comes a moment, silent and slow, when your reflection no longer looks like your past. Something ancient awakens behind your gaze, a shimmer, a knowing, a light not born of this world. You were never just watching life unfold. You were being refined by it. Every tear, every whisper of surrender etched itself into your gaze until it became a language all its own. The world believes blessings arrive with noise, applause, visibility, but in the divine realm, the blessing arrives quietly, through the soul, through the silence, through the shimmer behind your eyes. This glow is your signal, not vanity, not chance, but proof. Proof that you are ready. Heaven doesn't send blessings to those who strive. It flows through those who are aligned. So stand before your reflection, not as one who waits, but as one who knows. Because what begins in the mirror ends in miracles. It begins with a shimmer, barely noticeable at first, like dawn testing the edge of night. But if you've looked closely into your own eyes lately, you've seen it. Not just light, but presence. Not just color, but command. This is not imagination. It is the confirmation of your becoming. The world has taught you to seek signs in the sky, answers in outcomes, blessings in the shape of things seen. But what if the first revelation was not external, but internal? What if your gaze is the first door heaven opens? For those walking the path of the chosen, the transformation begins within and spreads outward. First the soul, then the stare. And when the eyes begin to glow, when they soften and deepen with divine weight, it is not vanity, it is evidence. Sacred energy is shifting. Something ancient is awakening, and it is speaking through you. Your eyes were never meant to be silent. They are the first storytellers of the soul, the messengers of transformation. When spiritual awakening takes root, it doesn't announce itself with thunder or lightning. It whispers through the gaze. You may have noticed it in the mirror, a brightness that wasn't there before, a stillness that feels deeper than peace. This is not coincidence. It is divine resonance, your inner alignment made visible. We are taught to dismiss the subtle, to downplay the sacred when it does not scream. But in the divine realm, silence is thunder. When the soul aligns with God's frequency, it begins to emanate through the eyes. People notice, they pause, they look again, not because they understand it, but because their spirit remembers it. The glow in your eyes is not for vanity, it's a signature, heaven's mark etched in light. But here's the part no one tells you. When your gaze begins to carry that light, not everyone will celebrate it. Some will look away, unsettled. Others will linger too long, drawn in without knowing why. Your presence becomes a mirror, and mirrors can terrify those not ready to see themselves. This glow, it doesn't just reveal who you are, it reveals who they are. The eyes of the chosen do more than shine. They perceive. They no longer just witness the world, they pierce through it. Beyond smiles, beyond masks, beyond the walls people build to hide their pain. This is not ordinary sight. This is divine discernment. Think of Christ's gaze, how it fell on Peter after his denial, not with condemnation, but with boundless grace. That single glance carried both truth and restoration. It was not a rebuke, it was a mirror of eternal love. Now that same anointing stirs in you. Your eyes become portals, your presence, a moment of divine confrontation. To those who hunger for healing, your gaze feels like home. To those still hiding, it feels like fire. You are no longer just a person in the room. You are an atmosphere. And when heaven shines through your eyes, nothing remains hidden, not even the truth within the hearts of others. This is why your glow feels heavy some days, why people cry in your presence without knowing why silence surrounds you like armor. Because your gaze is no longer your own. It carries weight, it carries Him, and the world can feel it, even when it can't explain it. But the transformation doesn't end with others noticing. It deepens in how you begin to see. What once looked ordinary becomes sacred, light feels warmer, colors bloom with unseen vibrancy. A stranger's smile holds a story. The wind through trees sounds like a psalm. This isn't sentimentality, it's perception reborn. Your gaze has moved from surface to spirit, from detail to divine. Jesus said, "Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God." Not in heaven someday, but now, in the everyday. This clarity is the inheritance of the awakened. You no longer see with eyes alone, you see with revelation. And in that seeing, you are changed again. Gratitude floods the gaze. Reverence softens your stare. Joy settles behind your pupils like a sunrise waiting to break. This is divine vision, seeing the presence of God not just around you, but within all things. And now, the veil lifts. You thought this was about your eyes, about how others see you. But it's never been about appearance. It's always been about alignment. Your gaze is merely the symptom. The real transformation is in your frequency. Your soul has come into resonance with the voice that said, "Let there be light." This is why the glow cannot be faked. Why it fades when you drift. Why it returns when you surrender. The light in your eyes is not yours. It is borrowed fire. Divine essence shining through a vessel refined by trials, surrender, and truth. Moses came down from the mountain with his face shining, not because he tried to shine, but because he had been with God. And so have you. Every moment of silence, every whispered prayer, every tear shed in secret was oil poured on the flame. Now that fire is speaking, and with fire comes responsibility. You don't just carry light, you wield it. And light, when misused, can scorch as easily as it heals. That is why the chosen must walk with sacred intention. Your gaze can uplift, but it can also confront. It can calm, but it can convict. People will see in your eyes what their soul is ready or not ready to face. So wield your presence like a blade of truth wrapped in velvet grace. Let your silence carry compassion. Let your stare offer safety, not superiority. This is the quiet power of divine alignment. It does not demand respect. It awakens remembrance. When you see others now, you don't just recognize flaws, you see potential. You see pain buried beneath performance. And most of all, you see the image of God, however distorted, still shining faintly beneath it all. This is holy vision. Guard it well. But don't forget, this light is not constant by accident. It flickers when you neglect the flame. It dims when you disconnect from the source. Even Jesus withdrew to the mountains to pray, to realign, to return to the fire. So must you. Because what glows through you must also be guarded within you. Your glow is not just a reflection, it's a signal. A message to heaven that you are ready. A declaration that you are aligned, awakened, and willing. And heaven responds. When the eyes carry divine fire, the atmosphere begins to shift. Doors open not by force, but by frequency. Opportunities appear not by striving, but by resonance. People are drawn to you, not because of charm, but because your energy is now magnetic to miracles. This is the unseen law of divine alignment. Inner light becomes outer breakthrough. What begins in the spirit becomes real in the seen. And this is why your gaze matters. Because it is both the mirror of your awakening and the trigger of your blessing. The light doesn't just shine. It moves things. It calls what is hidden into visibility. It tells the universe, I am ready. Now the pattern reveals itself. Your transformation was never random. First came the glow, a subtle shift, a sacred shimmer. Then came perception, seeing through the veil, recognizing God in all things. After that, the fire, borrowed from heaven, lighting your soul from within. With fire came discernment. With discernment came responsibility. And now, with all of this, comes activation. Your gaze is no longer just an expression. It is a divine instrument. It sees, heals, convicts, uplifts, and calls things into being. It is no longer passive. It is prophetic. And that is the mystery no one teaches. The light within changes the world without. Not through noise, but through presence. Not by striving, but by shining. You are no longer just a witness to transformation. You are now the vessel of it. So now, the question is no longer, do they see it in me? The question is, what will they see next? Because your eyes have become the doorway. And what comes through that doorway is just beginning to unfold. What will they see next? They will see the world bending around your presence because now, your gaze does not merely observe, it creates. Every flicker of light in your eyes carries a whisper of heaven, shaping the atmosphere, piercing illusion, igniting remembrance. And what lies beyond this doorway is not just transformation, it is transfiguration. The moment you opened your eyes to truth, the unseen began to move in your favor. The world will notice. But more than that, the world will respond. The glow in your eyes, the shift in your vision, the magnetism in your silence. Each piece was a breadcrumb left by the divine to lead you home, not to a place, but to yourself. You are not becoming something new. You are remembering something eternal. From the lamp of the body to the flame behind the stare, you've seen that when the soul aligns, the eyes declare it. This is the triumph of the awakened, to reflect what heaven has already written. You have walked through fire, silent, sacred, refining, and now you carry that fire in your gaze. No more shrinking, no more searching for permission. The time of hiding is over. You are not merely seen, you are seen through, and in that seeing, you awaken others. This is your mantle, bright pawn, to let your eyes become the first sermon, your presence the first miracle. You are the sign, you are the spark, you are the storm wrapped in stillness. So now, step forward, not as one watching, but as one witnessed by heaven. Leave a mark not just in comments, but in the current of this unfolding revelation. Declare it not with echo, but with origin. Type, I carry the flame below. Let the others feel it. Let the tribe of the radiant find one another in this sacred thread. You are not alone in this light. You were never meant to shine in silence. And so the world tilts, ever so slightly, because you saw yourself clearly. One glance in the mirror, and the cosmos shifted, not with thunder, but with alignment, not with noise, but with knowing. The veil lifts. The stars above blink in recognition. Somewhere a door opens that only light can pass through. And in the stillness between heartbeats, the fire in your eyes burns brighter than dawn. This was never just about your reflection. It was about your radiance. The blessing is not coming. It has already begun. And it started in your gaze. So when you ask, what will they see next? Know this: they will see the light that chose you.